Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. Today I am at my flower field. I haven't been here since about, I would say 2 weeks before Christmas. And then after Christmas, it's basically been raining non-stop here in Northern California. It's been incredible. There has been absolutely so much rain and we were supposed to get a break in the rain today. So I came out here to try and work in my flower field and as I'm out there weeding, it started raining on me. And then I think we have 5 inches of rain predicted for the next couple days, which I have to say is wonderful because we're in a drought and we need the rain and all that kind of stuff. But this is a lot of rain. All right, so here's the flower field. I hope you all can see it. I'm trying to hover underneath my, the back door of my SUV, because it's definitely starting to rain right now. It was literally predicted to be dry all day today. So I'm kind of bummed about this, but the ground is so incredibly saturated right now. Look at my boots. I was getting stuck as I was walking through the flower field. It is just, we're just not used to having this much rain. I feel like this whole year has been a year of extremes where it was extremely hot and then it was extremely dry and now it's extremely rainy. So like I said, I'll take the rain, but it does make it really hard to keep this flower field in check. But what I did do, the screen might get really wet, so I apologize. I'm going to try and cover it as much as I can. What I did do is I did come out here. I still haven't fixed this fence, but nothing's been eaten on this, so I think we're good. So I came out here and I started weeding and I started looking around for the little seedlings and they're all there. They're all doing good. I think I lost a couple of them. This is stock. This is antique pink stock. You can see there's one. As I was going through, I could see like a couple of them. It was like they drowned. There was like too much moisture. And so I think I've lost, maybe 20% of my seedlings here, which is totally expected with the cool flower method. I'm not worried about that. Even when I was looking over here at my snapdragons, which are very, very tiny, they were there as well. But you can see it's kind of unworkable today. It's kind of not the most pleasant place to be right now, which is such a bummer because I wanted to get some bulbs planted out here because my cut flower garden at home is not working. My cut flower garden at home is in progress because I'm putting raised beds, like tiered raised beds in it, and I still have to build it. But of course the rain is hindering me with that. And then also just the busyness of the holiday season. But now that the holiday season's done, I feel like I'm going to have more time. I just have to work around this rain. Our 10-day forecast, rain every single day. I mean, I'm just not used to this, you guys. I live in a drought state. I'm not used to this. So it is what it is. This is Mother Nature. I'm going to try and do what I can do, but I'm not going to let myself get upset about it. Okay, I'm getting stuck in the mud here. Yeah, I think I just need to go home. I don't think this is going to work. So these are all the things that I wanted to plant today. I have my anemones. Which kind are these? These are the white anemones, and then these are my ranunculus that I saved from last year. They're all pre-sprouted, so ready to get planted. I just don't think there's any way that I can plant it. It is raining even harder now. And then I have this whole box full of daffodils and tulips, and I need to get them out. I'm still okay with timing here in zone 9B. I'm not technically late yet, but I will be late very soon if I don't get them out. So, I'm going to try my hardest. If I plant them a little bit late, I don't think it'll be the end of the world. I'm going to plant them anyway. I'm not going to give up on them. Even if it's like a month late in planting, we're just going to see what happens, and I'll bring you all along for the ride so you all can see what happens if you plant your daffodils and tulips a little bit late. All right. I was not thinking, and I didn't bring any extra shoes, and so I don't know how to get my shoes off into the back so I don't get mud in my front seat and then get myself over to the driver's seat. Oh, I did not think this day all the way through. Okay, we're just gonna do this. Oh my goodness. What I do for flowers. All right, it is really raining now. Cold. Okay, all dry in my car. I had big plans for today. I was going to work out here all day and get a bunch of weeding done, get all those bulbs planted, and bring you all along for the ride. So this video, I apologize about it, but that's okay. So I'm not too worried about the flower field. The cool flower method, there's two ways to do the cool flower method. You can do the cool flower method by planting in the fall, or you can also do it by planting a couple weeks before your last frost date. Okay, so your last frost date. So that would basically be late winter, early spring. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-sow some of the seeds that I have planted out here, just so I have some extras, and then I can plant some more seedlings if some of the seedlings don't last through all this rain. I mean, I'm not going to call it a fail. I'm not going to give up on this. It just might mean that I need to keep trying again. And that's kind of like the nature of it. I always tell people, like new gardeners, when they email me or when they talk to me on Instagram or something like that, I always tell them, like, be prepared. You're going to kill plants. And that's just, it is what it is. Everybody kills plants. All gardeners kill plants. And it's just nature. Like, I can't help that it's raining for 10 days straight. They're calling an atmospheric river here in Northern California. So like, I can't do anything about that. I could not have planned that. We were in a drought when I planted all these seedlings. So it just, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about it. And then the bulbs, if they don't bloom correctly, or if they don't even bloom at all, at least I tried. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to look at it as a positive. This big flower field is a totally new thing for me. I've done my cut flower garden at home for a couple years, but that was only 200 square feet. I don't know how many square feet the flower field is, but I mean, I don't know. It's a lot more than that. I'm going to say like 1,000 square feet or something like that. So, it's incredibly ramped up. Plus, I don't live here, so I can't be here every single day just with my schedule and my kids. So it's, it's just a total learning experience. And I'll just see what works for me with this flower field and all this extra property that I have access to this year. So just as a side note, if you all don't know what I'm talking about this property, this flower field, my neighbor has family who live about 15 minutes away from me, and they have a bunch of property. They have a bunch of land, and out of the kindness of their hearts, they let me borrow some of their land for the season to expand my cut flower garden, which is just, it just warms my heart. So I do have to pay for water, but I don't have to pay for anything else, which is amazing. So I got the property, I think in October of last year, and then I prepared it. My parents came and helped me, and we tilled the whole area. I put up a fence and we put some irrigation in, and I did the cool flower method of planting seeds out here, which is where you plant seeds in the fall. You plant seedlings in the fall. And then it's zone sensitive, basically. So, I live in zone 9B. So as long as the seedlings are hardy to zone 9B, then I'm good and I can plant them in the fall. If you live in a lower zone than I do, then it depends on what type of seedling it is. So I did want to update you all about my birch tree. So in yesterday's video, I was talking to a tree guy, was going to come and was going to look at one of the two birch trees that I have on the side of my yard, because I don't think it looks good. It just didn't look good. And I was going back and forth on it. We actually had another tree person come out and take a look at it and actually prune the other birch tree. And he said that the birch tree looked fine. That was maybe like 2 years ago or something like that. Anyway, so we had the guy come out and I talked to him. He was so incredibly knowledgeable. I forget what he called himself. He was like a specialist in trees, like like an arborist or, but some type of specialist. I don't know. If I can remember it, I'll put it down here. I do have his business card, but it's at home. So he was so knowledgeable. I was so impressed. He took one look at that birch tree that is inside the fence and he was like, yeah, this is dead on the inside. It is a safety hazard. It's going to fall on your house. You got to get this out. I was like, okay, I kind of had a feeling. So that birch tree is coming out. Here's the horrible thing. He said the same thing about the second birch tree. Oh, I was so incredibly bummed. I really wanted to keep that second birch tree, the one that's outside of our fence. I think it's so incredibly beautiful right there. But what he said was, and this is, I'm not going to blame anybody, but he said that it was pruned wrong and somebody went and basically topped the top of it off, basically just chopped it off. And once you do that on a birch tree, it starts killing the tree and the tree starts dying. So, I know what happened. This is what happens when, you have to find people that are super knowledgeable in what they do. And I don't want to blame anybody. Everybody needs to, make a living and all that kind of stuff, but it's such a bummer. It's like not only did I lose one tree, but then I totally lost both trees. And so now I'm going to have no birch trees there, which is such a bummer. And so then I was asking the arborist, since he was there, I said, can I just replant? Can I replant birch trees out so it would be in my cottage garden? And he said, totally no. Basically, the way that the planter is and then the streets right there, the tree would die anyway, just for not having enough air, going through the roots and going through the soil. You need more area around the base of the tree than I have in that spot right there. So it's like we're on the list for them to come and remove both birch trees, which is good in one thing because then I get a concrete in that side of my yard and I get to have a nice storage area and I'm going to get a shed and all that kind of stuff. But then the other birch tree is going, and that is going to completely change my cottage garden, and I have to think about it, and I want some vertical interest there, but I have no idea what to do. I asked him about some other trees and he was like, I don't know, it's not a really good idea. Maybe a crepe myrtle. And it's like, okay. So I already have a crepe myrtle in my front yard, so I mean, it'd be fine to have a second one, but I wanted the birch tree. It was so beautiful. So anyway, so that's the big news for today with the trees, is both those trees are coming out. He said that within 2 weeks they should come out. However, we had a horrible, more rain. We had a rainstorm with really bad wind, knocked over a ton of trees in our area, a ton. Everybody, we didn't have power for almost a day and a half over New Year's Eve and New Year's, because there were so many trees that were knocked down from the storm. So I'm sure they're going to be busy with cleaning up after that, but then we're on their list for them to come and remove our birch trees. So that's the news with the birch trees. They're both coming out. I don't know what I'm going to do. Everything is just, I don't know what I'm going to do. Let's just wait and see. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I apologize for this video being extremely random. It started raining again. So I'm going to go home and sit by the fire, maybe take a hot shower. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get into your garden today.